Hey everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Brittany. My name is Brittany, and today we're doing a restorative yoga class, which means we are truly doing the absolute least, very few postures with very little talking. This class is designed to help you and your body feel safe, relax, unwind from your day, and set yourself up for a restful evening, and also just to kind of turn off the mind's chatter and allow the body to ease and settle in. So with that being said, please join me in wearing something super comfortable, maybe even some warm socks, a warm blanket, and then grabbing any props you may have. I'm sitting up on a bolster and I have 2 blocks. If you do not have these at home, that is no problem. Just grab pillows, blankets, anything you can to make your space extra comfy. And if you need to pause the video to go ahead and grab those, you can do so now. Otherwise, I'm going to meet you on your back, on your bolster or your pillows, in a supported Supta Baddha Konasana, so a supported reclined butterfly position. And I'm going to support my back with the bolster and then place blocks underneath both of my thighs. And the higher up on the thighs that you place the blocks, the more support you're going to have with the legs. So we don't want this class to be about getting deep into these poses. We actually just really want to feel supported and safe and relaxed. So go ahead and lie down when you're ready. If you have a ponytail, you might want to take that out. We will be lying on our back for most of this class. And take some time to get yourself situated. Now this is a hip opener here. So like I said, I have my blocks kind of high up to support the legs. You can play around with adjusting them, even take them up a setting or two. Just get where you are fully supported, and you are going to be able to stay anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes in these postures. We will be letting the yoga doing most of the talking. So I will guide you into these poses, guide some breath, and then send you on your way. To start, let's just take our left hand to our heart and our right hand to our belly. We'll take 3 grounding breaths together, breathing in through the nose. Sigh it out. Inhale. Let it go. Last one together. Breathe in, fill up the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And then get all the way empty and allow your arms to fall down at your sides, feeling completely, totally supported by your props. And when our classes are slower and quieter, it is normal for our mind to start to wander, especially if you just did a lot of high activity. It's kind of hard to switch the brain into that relaxation mode. So if that is the case for you, I invite you to count the length of your breath, count how many breaths you take, notice and focus on the temperature of the breath and how it feels in the body, or simply give your leg a tap to bring your brain and your mind back to the present moment at any time you find your thoughts wandering. In this first posture here, I just want you to notice how the body feels and begin to soften everything from the feet, up the legs, the belly, and the ribs. The back getting heavy onto your props. Back of the head is heavy. The mouth and the throat is soft. The arms are heavy. And the muscles in the face are soft. if you haven't already, taking your awareness to your breath. Notice where the breath is landing today. Notice the sensation of your breath as it enters the nostrils. And as it leaves the body. Noticing your heart rate at this time. And noticing the longer you lie here, the more safe and supported you feel, the slower each breath comes, and the heart rate also begins to slower. Every muscle in the body just melting like butter. We'll be in this posture for just a few more minutes. So I'd like to invite you to ask yourself if there's anything that you could do to make this posture more safe, more comfortable. Any changes you would like to make that will allow you to settle deeper into relaxation. Peace and calm. We often think that yoga is about all these different vinyasas, all the flows, sometimes even just thinking it's a workout or a stretch. But really right here in this moment, maintaining your breath and your presence, this is the yoga. For many of us, laying down and being still is harder than doing a workout. Being present with ourselves, checking in, slowing down. This is the true work. As we begin to exit this posture, we're going to do it very gently, very slowly. So you'll begin to wiggle fingers, take a deep breath in, and let it go. Take your hands underneath the thighs, planting the feet on the mat. Use the hands to close the knees. You can move the blocks off to the side for just a moment. And then make any micro movements, any adjustments that your body feels like it is asking for. And for me right now, that is windshield wipering the legs. This feels pretty good after lying in that hip opener. Just taking it nice and slow. Let the body kind of rebound after that. And then working our way into our next posture. We're going to be finding a supine twist. And these are going to fall to the left first. So I'm going to stay here on my bolster for now. You may notice that lying up on your bolster or your pillow, it might be too much for your back. And if that's the case, go ahead and remove it and just place it underneath maybe just the head or wherever you feel like it's going to be comfortable. I'm going to shift my hips slightly over to the right. And then allow my knees to fall to the left, and they're going to be kind of staggered. And that's all good, because actually what I'm going to do is place one block underneath my left leg and one block underneath my right. In the same scenario here, the higher up between the legs or under the leg you put the block, the more support you're going to find. You may even find more support taking your block on the tallest setting. Yeah, I think I might start that way today. Whatever you need to do to get yourself fully supported in this very gentle supine twist. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can take your gaze off to the right. So the knees are over to the left, gaze is over to the right. And you can decide if you feel like you want to leave the arms open, or you can place them palms face down on the body. That is totally up to you. And now that we have kind of calmed down our heart rate, calmed down our breath rate, I want you just to, in this posture, take some time to ask your body, what do you need from me? Your body, your mind. And take this time to listen. What do I need right now? You may notice that the longer you lie here, there may be some adjustments that you want to make, and by all means, feel free to take anything that you need, take anything away, add anything. This is your practice. I'm simply here to guide you to this state of relaxation, so you find something that feels good, peaceful, and restorative here. For the last few moments of this posture, if there's any final adjustments you would like to make, notice where your breath is going in this posture. Would you like to deepen or soften anything about this posture? Is there anything you can do to feel more supported here? And once again, very gently beginning to wake the body up from this posture by making small movements first. And then gently bringing the knees back to a neutral position, taking your blocks off to the right hand side. We will be using them again. Take the hips back into a neutral position and then see if those windshield wipers maybe feel good on this round as well. And then over the next few breaths, we will take that supine twist now off to the right. So go ahead and next time the knees fall to the right, allow them to stay that way. Grab your blocks, prop them up in a position that is comfortable for you. Sometimes it helps to shift the hips over to the opposite side. So my hips kind of shimmied over to the left, knees are falling to the right. It just gives me a little more space here. Again, you have the option to allow your gaze to fall over to the left, or it can stay straight up if that works better for you. It might be somewhere in between the two, and it might change the longer you're here. The goal of this practice is not necessarily to deepen our flexibility or to challenge our body in any way. It is all about feeling safe and supported when we are in this restorative class. When the body feels safe, that is when the magic inside, the healing, all begins to happen, but not until you feel safe. So these postures feel safe, supported, so that your body feels safe. The body was made to heal, and this restorative practice is just a step in allowing the body to do so. Taking that mental scan anytime you start to feel gripping or any sensations pop up in the body, especially if the mind has started to wander. Just notice if the shoulders tense back up, if the back tenses back up, if the jaw tenses back up. Can you breathe that in and then breathe it out? Can you soften even 1% deeper into this posture? Not only physically, but mentally, can you soften? Emotionally, can you soften? Maybe the last few moments in this posture, just notice if there's any adjustments that you would like to make to deepen or soften, just be even more supported in this posture. Over the next few breaths, you'll begin to make small movements once again, wiggling fingers, deepening the breath, taking the hips back into a neutral position, removing the blocks, and then windshield wipering left and right, just releasing the twists in the hips and the low back. You're going to roll on over to your left side, just to use your right hand to push yourself up onto a seat. Take it nice and slow, especially after laying for all that time. We still want to maintain this state of relaxation and safety in the body. For this next posture, we're going to come into a child's pose supported with our bolster and our blocks if you would like. So facing your bolster or your pillows, take your knees. They can be about hips width distance. If at any time this gets too much for the low back, just bring the knees closer together. You can adjust any and all of your props accordingly. You're simply just going to drape the upper body on top of your bolster. You have the option to also place a block underneath the bolster to bring it a little bit higher to you. So go ahead and allow yourself to ease in here. Place the props anywhere that you feel like you would be most supported. Cover up with your blanket if you would like. Otherwise, allow yourself to soften. Listen to what your body is asking for and find rest. If your head is off to one side, I'd like to invite you to do your neck a favor and take your gaze the other direction. You're going to very slowly begin to make your way off of your props, pressing into the hands, sitting up, and then maybe even sitting back, resting onto the arms. So you can one more time windshield wiper the legs. We've done quite a bit of hip work in these restorative postures tonight, so take your time. And then you can keep the stack of your bolster on top of your block. So we're just going to turn around and take our final resting shape. Now, if you would prefer to take a more traditional Shavasana, just remove your blocks, place them off to the side, grab your blanket. We're going to be here for several minutes, just like we have the rest of the posture. So go ahead and rest back onto your bolster, slightly reclined as long as that feels good to you. And you can take your legs out long. My feet are a little cold, so I'm going to keep them tucked in here. And before we enter into this Shavasana, just taking time to do a full body scan once again, checking in with the feet and all the way up the legs, releasing the hips, any tension held in the belly, releasing the chest. Arms are heavy, shoulders are heavy. Relaxing the muscles in the neck. Relaxing the jaw. Allowing the back teeth to part and the tongue to fall from the roof of your mouth. Soften the muscles in the face. And then bring your awareness to your breath once again. Notice the rate of your breath. Simply observing if it has slowed down, if your breaths are a little deeper, a little more full. Notice if there is a change in temperature of your breath. Let's see if there's anywhere where you can get just about 1% deeper into relaxation. very gently begin to bring your awareness back into the room. Taking a soft breath in and a soft breath out. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, maybe allowing the eyes to flutter open. Making small, gentle movements first. And then in your time and in your way, if you are ready to conclude this practice, I invite you to push yourself on up to a seat. If you have more time to continue on that practice, you are welcome to stay in any of those postures for as long as you would like. Otherwise, we'll meet in a seated position. Left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. And just notice. Thank you so much for practicing with me, for sharing this sacred space. It was my honor, as always. Go in peace, love, and light. Namaste.